10 o'clock. This is the Gilliam County Court regular meeting, February 4th. We're in Condon today. The meeting's called to order. A quorum has been established and we'll now have the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, are there any additions or revisions to the agenda? No. Okay, the only thing I wanted to bring up is the email from Arlington Community Childcare. It looks like they're in need of some operation funds. So under new business, let's add that to determine how to move forward with that. So that'll be the first item under new business. Okay. Correspondence, public comment. Individuals wishing to address the court may do so at this time or at other times throughout the meeting. Speakers are asked to raise their hand, be recognized by the chair, and give their name and city and limit their comments to 3 minutes. Is there any public comment? No? Any comment online? Okay. All right. The first item, 3.1 on the agenda, is a NORCOR presentation. Is Nicole there for the to present, or anyone else from NORCOR? No?
Unless it's this, no, that's not Gilliam. I don't see anyone on here that. There are no names from the emails I've been getting.
Okay. And they were on, they had said that,
yes,
confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe they'll join.
All right. So we may move that. In your documents under 3.2, you will see Mid-Columbia Economic Development District 2026 project list. We were asked to prepare this. We reached out to other entities. They wanted to see projects that would come to fruition in that year potentially. So we had to prioritize from there. That's what was submitted to them. 3.3, you may remember the last time we were here a month ago in January, we were told that our 911 system would require a significant upgrade, a large cost, and incentives were removed from a Motorola agreement. This is through Frontier Telenet, the 911 backbone system. We have written to Motorola and asked that those incentives be reinstated in their offer. So we haven't heard back, but we were making an attempt. The 3 county judges, Gilliam, Sherman, and Wheeler, who are part of Frontier Telenet, all signed that letter. 3.4, you will find instructions. We have moved to a new website for Gilliam County. There are a few growing pains, and there's instructions if individuals are having problems getting on the website in order to clear cache and other cookies history, depending upon what search engine you're using. We're also publishing this in the newspaper for other populations as well. Please reach out to Gilliam County for anyone else who's having trouble, or if you are continuing to have trouble. You will find a treasurer's report for December. Some of that was provided to you online. Some is in the packet. Some of the documents are in the packet. Do you have any questions about the treasurer's report?
No.
Do you have anything to address?
We're working through our discrepancy and hope to have it resolved. I think we found a source. It's just a matter of figuring out how to fix it.
And the source is?
The source is just, we had some temporary fund credits that were recognized one way under our old auditors, and it doesn't work in the new system. So it creates this off amount for our cash versus our allocation.
So it's in the tax accounts.
It's in the tax accounts. So I sent you a letter about agency accounts. So the budget that gets approved is only, it's not the agency accounts, so different offices have their own bank accounts. The director's office has one for taxes. Sheriff's office has ones for, confiscated money. So it's in the agency accounts, but they are part of the overall financial audit. They are looked at every year.
Okay, and then it's not in your packet, but I believe the finance director sent you each an email last night about the discrepancy, where we are with our current auditors. All of the documents have been shared by our finance director with the auditor, to see if there's a way that can be resolved. But it is in the hands of the treasurer because it's a tax, it's a tax account.
I've already reached out to another set, trying to find another set of auditors just in case, so we need to get this resolved. We're gonna get our audit done within.
Okay. Right. Do you have any questions about that? So that tells you where we are with that situation.
Sorry to interrupt. Nicole is on the Sherman County website.
Oh, okay. So is she presenting at Sherman County right now?
They were supposed to log into our Zoom meeting.
Told her to try to log into us, but
Yeah.
Amber said that Sherman was waiting also, so.
They were all supposed to log into our Zoom meeting. It was all planned.
Okay.
Yeah, so I sent her an email,
Okay.
with the information. We'll see what happens. I don't know what else to do other than that.
All right. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, maybe if we have to have a special
Work
Zoom
session or
meeting or
something.
work session. I don't know what Commissioner
Mhm.
Hawkins thinking.
Well, we have, like, I mean, anytime they can finally get on, we can break to that, can't we?
Yes, we
Yeah.
totally could.
Yes,
If they can get it all.
yes, we can do
figured
that.
out.
We can do that, yes. We'll see what you find out, as the meeting progresses, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, also, 3.6 Veteran Services, you will see a Veteran Services report. I wasn't aware that this report existed, just to explain the arrangement. This is a tri-county agreement, Gilliam, Sherman, and Wheeler for Veteran Services. I think we need to be seeing this report and being able to ask questions about our veterans specifically in Gilliam County and how this report, how it breaks down for Gilliam County. I asked for in the future to have a breakout for Gilliam County. I know that we have 200 veterans. That's a lot of veterans in this county. That's not that's not including those who travel. So I want to make sure that we know what outreach is being done and those veterans that are being reached. Because very, very important service. We asked for the Veteran Service Officer to appear before us quarterly, and it will be one in person, and the rest he'll appear virtually because he's in, I believe, Sherman County on Wednesdays.
February 18th.
February 18th, he'll be
at
appearing
meeting.
virtually next meeting. Consent agenda.
So
Oh.
just on the financial part, so are we, I see that we paid a partial on it, so is the rest of it gonna be due?
We
Here.
paid $12,500, I
Which doesn't
believe is the
like
amount.
Wheeler or Sherman have paid anything. as
Yeah.
of December.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you know how it's paid? The Veteran Services, they must bill us.
Must do, yeah, I don't.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
right
So Sherman County is the fiscal officer.
now. It looks like I can join the Sherman County meeting
Oh.
here, but I don't know exactly how that's gonna work for everyone to hear it. Should we try it?
Okay, sure.
They sent me a link.
Oh. What we could do is let's just join the meeting and I'll use my laptop. How about that? I don't like to think that.
Okay, let me forward you the. email.
So I could probably join on my side, so Grant,
Mm-hmm. And Greg can see your computer.
Okay, I will send you the link, which is Go to meet.
Same thing, we could just go to the website. Can I just go to the website?
No, I just sent you an email.
Oh.
And the link is in the email. I mean, maybe you can, I don't know.
Yeah, everything I saw, they were gonna zoom in on us.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I don't know what that looks like, but.
Join the browser.
My rates are going up now.
We're gonna have to mute. One of you will probably come back.
I'll just.
Investor equity.
Correct, it's everywhere, but I still think
Here,
it's.
Grant.
I can't, you guys hear anything? I know you can.
We can't see it. They don't, it's just audio,
Okay, well, I will
but that's how they
share,
do it.
I will share that
Oh, it
feedback
is.
with our natural resources committee. I don't,
That doesn't make sense.
know, but I need to go figure out, how to
See something like Nicole.
bill or where it came from. All of those sorts of good things, so, you guys are joining the Gilliam County meeting?
Well, we're going to, yes, we're getting a presentation, about NORCOR. We had a study,
That's where I'm headed next too.
is Gilliam County.
Virtually to Gilliam County.
Oh, that's Nate's stuff.
10-15.
Governor's office.
Seems like everybody's joining us though.
That's what they just said to do.
Set that and you're.
Is there anything else that you all want me to take back to the folks or any projects that should have folks dig into here? I know Valerie, who are all the communities on utility.
What? Oh, just the energy project.
Are you going to be
Okay, she said great.
AOC Day or at the celebration on Monday?
The celebration on Monday.
I,
120 years AOC at the Capitol and they're, every year.
I wasn't over the plan. I'm just curious.
I think she's confused as well. I don't think she-
Representing
One together, right there. I'm certain it'll be late, probably make it there.
Are you going? Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Maybe 8 hours, whatever, okay, that we're ready to, we haven't done that for quite a while.
Okay, this isn't gonna work.
Hey, Laura, we'll go to, Martin's on second.
You wanna get out of there?
I think we should regroup.
Yeah, I don't, okay.
All right.
I'll meet with you and Kat.
All right, I think
I
that.
can't mute my microphone anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yours wasn't muted either.
Says it is. I mean, my volume's down, sorry about that. Okay, so, let's back up. This was supposed to be a presentation from NORCOR. There were arrangements made that it was going to be a video presentation, including Gilliam, Sherman, and Wheeler County. Sorry, Gilliam County and Sherman County. Sherman County only uses audio on their Zoom, so that's why they were gonna join us,
Yes.
because we have.
We had the video. We
video.
were gonna present
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So we will have to regroup on that and do that another time. Maybe there'll just have to be a presentation for us. Is there any action that's going to need to be taken soon?
I think the biggest thing, yeah. There's still just discussion.
Okay, is,
Everybody was just trying to. It's quite an in-depth study and I was the first one to say, I'm not comfortable going, I would like this presented to the court.
okay,
And everybody's in the process of doing that.
so our next meeting will be, the 18th in Arlington. Is that a possibility? To see if we can get a
Yeah,
video
I can-
presentation on that
Yeah, I
day.
can try to set up something.
Okay.
The next NORCOR meeting's the 19th,
Okay,
next day.
I can reach out to Nicole and coordinate.
great,
Okay, yeah.
right.
Yeah, because I think this needs to be just presented and
Okay,
there's scenarios, 3 different scenarios on sustainability.
okay,
So, yeah, yeah.
all right.
So we'll try to redo.
Consent agenda, we have consider approval of amendment to the ODOT grant agreement for transportation funding, consider approval of bills pending review, consider approval of regular meeting minutes for January 21st, consider approval of CAPECO service agreement for funding of meal service program from February to June of 26, which would be through the fiscal year. We've been receiving those just monthly, but it looks like we have an agreement through the end of the fiscal year, which is helpful. Do we have any discussion on the items on the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, unfinished business. We do not have any items of unfinished business. New business. First item is the addition that was made. Last night, we received an email from Mark Moore, who's the president of the Arlington Community Childcare. If you recall, they did not ask for any operational funding during the last cycle. They were able to gather some funding from local businesses, and we're told that if they needed to come to us, to come back to us if they needed any funding. Here they are. How do we want to proceed? They're asking for just under $100,000 to get them through the remainder of this fiscal year, and they haven't asked for any other operational funding.
So did they give any details or just this lump sum?
This is all that they provided. They haven't completed a grant application. That's what I was thinking we could do, is ask you if you think this is an appropriate situation for them at this point to make an exception to the normal operational grant program so that they don't have to close their doors.
Yeah.
So, like, how soon, I mean,
Well, it says they have $28,000 approximate in their bank account. So I'm thinking at the next meeting, if we had the application, they rushed to get it done,
Yeah.
got it to us, and we could act on it that time.
I think
Does that sound
that's my vote. I
okay?
think they should
All right.
apply.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We will reach out and let them know. 6.1, discuss special advisory group comments regarding the Saddle Butte Energy Facility project. In your packet, and do we have Stephanie Case on?
Yes.
Okay,
See, I believe she's on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Stephanie,
Good morning.
this is our planning staff, Stephanie Case. Go ahead and give the background on this, please.
Sure, good morning. So we received a notice of intent in early January from Oregon Department of Energy for the Saddle Butte Energy Project, requesting comments, appointing the county court as the official advisory committee for this, and asking for any comments related to the proposed action before this begins, kind of initiates the process. So in communication with staff from Oregon Department of Energy, the county judge, and I know she's done a really great job doing some outreach. And then Oregon Department of Energy had a meeting, I believe that was January 13th in Condon, to try to get some public input. We developed a letter that you have in your packet today as proposed comments. So staff is looking for some conversation and direction for that letter, either to amend it or approve it, and we can get it sent over to the Oregon Department of Energy. We did also request an extension. They asked for comments by January 30th. Oregon Department of Energy agreed to give us an extension until the 10th of this month because our county court meeting wasn't until today. So we did get an extension for those comments. So.
Thank you for all your work on this, Stephanie. So when I received this information, Stephanie and I spoke because she's been through this process, and we made contact with Sarah, correct? Sarah.
Yes, Sarah Esterson. And I don't know if she's on today or not. I can't see participants, so.
Is Sarah Esterson there?
Yes.
Okay.
I am here.
Okay, Sarah, would you like to present anything regarding how the process works?
Yeah, well, so thank you. I mean, I just have a few additional words. I think Stephanie did a great job. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Esterson. I'm the Senior Policy Advisor with the Oregon Department of Energy and their siting division. And I act as staff along with my colleagues as to the Energy Facility Siting Council, and they're the governing body for certain energy facilities that require a permit from the state. And I think you understand, but when for the local jurisdictions that these larger energy facilities are proposed, our rules, require that that governing body is appointed as the special advisory group, which Stephanie's already described. But that is like a really important role for us. We take it really seriously. And the idea is for each of the different points in the permitting process where we have to seek input and comment, that we do that really effectively with the special advisory group, as well as other local, state, tribal governments. But so the place where the Saddle Butte Energy Facility is at in our permitting process is step 1 of 7. And that's the notice of intent phase. And later we'll get an application where we'll want to work with you again. And then we work with you again on kind of our evaluation of the adequacy of that application. But this step is kind of an easier step here at notice of intent, where we're just asking for your confirmation of what are the local requirements that would apply to a wind energy facility and exclusive farm use zone land. From your zoning ordinance, if you have other ordinances, anything from the comp plan, that if the county was permitting this, you would apply. And then certainly if you've had recent interpretations or applications that where you were like, this was interesting, this is how we want to do it. We want those interpretations because we're taking input to go, okay, applicant, when you submit your application, we expect to see these requirements evaluated in this way. So if you had some specific example, again, that wouldn't be obvious, we're kind of looking for that. And then this one other kind of nuanced piece where we refer to them as analysis areas, but it's basically we're asking for input on the area that has to be included in the impact assessment. And so like for a proposed facility, definitely the site it's on has to be evaluated for potential impacts from construction and operation. But where we kind of seek local input on is, what about the rest of the area, off-site impacts, indirect impacts, and particularly for land use, public services, wildfire, like an example is that for the Saddle Butte project, that Columbia Ridge landfill is just north of the site. Now, our analysis area for land use extends a half a mile from the site of the project, but in the event it was just the site and you knew, and we didn't, that landfill was there, you could say, you better include that because we want to be able to evaluate compatibility. We don't want that landfill on that industrial site to be unduly impacted by this site because you didn't extend that analysis area to capture it. So things like that. That's always asking for input on analysis areas is a difficult question, but it's really just, do you have knowledge about resources that could be potentially impacted outside of the site that we need to make sure are included? And then, just to note that our goal here really is to build a relationship with this court and with Stephanie. and make sure that, you know, we receive your comments, we respond to those comments, that we're kind of in partnership to the best of our ability, to the extent, you know, your team has time, and to make sure that all the local requirements are adequately addressed, and that we communicate the process timeline all the way through. And then if it gets approved, you know, that we're coordinating on construction timing and operational compliance as that goes through. So it's long term, if, you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on at the legislature, so everything is uncertain right now, but you know, this is how it is today. But yeah, so I just thank you again for your time, and we just really appreciate working with Stephanie. She's been really great so far, and just in the past. So yeah. And
Okay, Sarah, we did include in our letter, we have our draft letter completed.
okay.
Thanks to Stephanie, and then we
Yes.
did our local outreach here to our road department, our weed department, law
Amazing.
enforcement, EMS, all of the entities we can think of that would be impacted.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Specifically, we have a impact based on the road, and we
Okay.
detailed that under number 6. It's about that we have a road that we're trying to construct a bypass for, and this is going to be the main way into for construction and operation of this facility off of Highway 19, and it's called Cedar Springs Lane.
Yeah.
But we have some mitigation issues that we're dealing with. So we detailed that this challenge we have in this report so that we can see if we can get past this.
Yeah. What's the timing of the bypass?
That's a whole nother agenda
item. But the concern is potential overlap in construction and not being able to use that road.
Right.
Yeah.
We would like this road constructed before this project starts.
Okay.
But we don't want to delay the project.
Right. Okay. Well, that's exactly what we would need to know. So
good.
And in that letter, we didn't really, I was going to say, we didn't really detail the current issue with it, Sarah. There is there are currently issues with the location of the road. So even if the energy project were to resume with the way the road is currently aligned, there would still be issues with transportation backup impacts. So
it's because of waste management and the rail.
Yeah.
The trash that comes in by rail is causes traffic delays, which is the very reason for the bypass.
Right.
But now we're having problems with the mitigation for the bypass due to wetlands issues, etc. I've also reached out to Nate Stice with Regional Solutions, and he may be on the line or will join later. So that's a separate agenda item, but.
Great. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, we look forward to those comments. Thank you so much.
Did commissioners have a chance to review the letter?
Yeah.
Is it acceptable to send as it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I would change is I don't know why it happened, but the first page has our right emails, and that they didn't pick it up on the additional pages.
We'll fix that.
So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And I noticed that if somebody sends it the old way, that it might take a day or so to.
Oh, you mean with the new old email address?
We get them, but it get delayed.
Thank you very much. Okay. The letter will come to you, Sarah. So be expecting that.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stephanie, as well.
You're welcome. For clarification, are you guys going to send it back to me to send to Sarah, or will you be sending it directly?
We can send it directly with a copy to you that we've done so.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you. Item 6.2, consider adoption of resolution 2026-01 to initiate proceedings for the sale of foreclosed property under House Bill 2089. 6.2 is a resolution. There's a briefing included. We have 3 properties. We have a process, a legal process for selling these properties that have been deeded to Gilliam County. through the foreclosure process. So we're ready to begin. I want to make sure everybody is comfortable with going forward with these. There are not a lot of counties who've used this statute yet. Previously, there was a sheriff's sale. That is no longer. There is a statutory process under House Bill 2089, and there are specific provisions that we are following through the process, but we have to begin. And I've been in touch with attorneys from AOC and our own legal counsel as well. Do you have any questions about the properties? They're all listed in the resolution, and they are all valued under $250,000. That means that we do not have to use a realtor, but we do need to advertise them on a website such as Zillow's to begin the process.
Any questions?
Can
Okay.
we advertise on multiple websites? or
Yes,
just-
you can. Mhm. Yes.
You good with it?
Yeah, I just thought that was the only thing I
Yeah.
wondered is if we could.
Yeah, and we
If you
will. We're
don't-
gonna put the word out,
Okay.
the newspaper, our website, in any possible way to let people know. And this will still be, it can still be a live sale on the courthouse steps. It can be done that way. It's just we have to follow the statute.
So do we need to, do we actually need to say that in there, that it would be advertised on?
Do you think we
if
should
just
amend?
say Websites instead of
Sure.
specific,
Yes. Online websites.
yeah.
So on line
Wow.
3,
On websites, that's all it needs to
Yeah.
be.
I'll move to approve the resolution 2026-01 initiating proceedings for the sale of foreclosed properties under HB 2089 as amended.
I'll second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2026-01 initiating proceedings for the sale of foreclosed property under House Bill 2089 with the amendment under item 3, that it be advertised on the website. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Item 6.3, consider update to the competitive grant guidelines and committee configuration. Brooklyn Griffith.
Hello again.
Hello.
We're coming to you today with some proposals to the current guidelines, minimal changes. I think the biggest thing that we had discussed, we had an entity reach out and was hoping to have the limit increase for the community events that is tied to the special projects. Right now, that limit is $7,500 per event. And a lot of our events don't request that full amount, but the 2 events are the rodeos that have those big events that are $60,000, $70,000 to put on. So we're proposing here an increase from 7,500 to 12,000 in the community events. Any questions about that or other proposals?
I think that's, we took some feedback from some grant recipients on that increased amount, and I think it's a needed increase.
I don't disagree because I think the cost of everything does it go down?
No other changes to like the community innovation or the capital projects limit within special projects. It's just that community events line. The second thing is just changing the list of acceptable documents that may be provided to prove nonprofit organizations IRS tax exemption status. Before the list had like their articles of incorporation from the state of Oregon, but you know, those documents get submitted to the IRS then to prove their 501c designation. So it's really just kind of focusing those requested documents to being their tax exemption status from the IRS.
So the determination letter from the IRS is the document we need, not not necessarily that's saying that it's approved by the IRS,
Yeah,
right?
it's not just an for-profit within the state of Oregon, but it's federally recognized. But
Yeah,
Right.
question.
so
Hi, I want to preface this by saying I'm asking this question as a sheet that's submitted, I think for one of the proofs of, tax exempt status, the IRS letter. But in a hypothetical scenario, I mean, we got that letter in 2003. And we file Form 990 each year, which is proof that we are still currently a tax exempt status. So if let's say that we lose our tax exempt status, 5 years ago, we're still just submitting.
I do verify that your guys' exemption status during each
Okay.
grant through the IRS website. We've never had any
Okay.
supply that are not IRS standard.
And Northern Ireland that flooded fraud. We've been, but I mean, it's one of those things of
Yeah.
like,
We're
we're
checking
checking current.
each time. I think there was just request to narrow that focus, but the grant committee does review status through the IRS's little website.
Okay, thank you for that input, because that is a good point.
Let's see. The next change is just, I think the date change is just for the capital investment grant. We're keeping those 2 rounds, one in the fall, one in the winter, which I'll just put out there that that's open right now until March 2nd. So those dates just changed by 1 day, just to fall with the current calendar dates. In those grant guidelines for last year, it specifically said the $1 million for the operational support grant. We just took that line out of there. I don't know if you guys want to keep that limit in there, but at budget season is when we'll discuss what that amount's gonna be, so we
Right.
took it out of the guideline. Any questions so far, just on those are the only updates to.
I think it's fine to take it out, in my opinion.
This next piece that I am recommending is that a staff review committee be formed to complete the application reviews for all 3 grants, so capital investment, special projects, and operational support. This would take effect immediately. I've had discussions with the current committee. They're in support of that. We have also identified 4 employees within Gilliam County to serve on that staff review committee, which would be myself, Anya Mundy, Kelly Smith, and Carrie Hayden.
And Carrie Hayter would bring an Arlington, a North End
Yes, perspective.
voice or eye. And that would just basically come to us as a staff report or staff recommendation based on the grant recommendations.
Yep.
Okay, that's the way it used to be done at one point in time. It's been done in several different ways.
Any questions about those proposals or any thoughts on that?
I'm in support of all of that.
I'm good with it.
Do we need a motion to create a staff committee? Because I just realized I didn't put that in the suggested motion language, or that's just kind of. We don't have to do that, approve that.
I think we just do it as presented.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of appointed them.
Yeah.
Right. I
It
think we're
was
fine.
getting,
Because we didn't do anything
Mhm.
with the
it's getting
Right.
warm bodies to fill the spots.
Yes.
Okay, then yes, that's the motion.
So we just need to do a support to make the changes. I move to approve the capital investment, operational support, and special grant projects guidelines as presented.
I will second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye, motion carries.
Thanks, Victor.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Thanks.
Okay. Discuss Cedar Springs Road relocation, state mitigation report, or anything regarding the road relocation. And we do have Anderson Perry present. Come on up. Or do you want to come up as well? And do we happen to have Nate Stice on? No? Okay. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
I'll take it away then. Yeah, we've been working with Dewey over the last I don't know, 9 months or 10 months or so on the Cedar Springs Lane relocation project. Our initial contract was just for design of the road and kind of preliminary environmental work just to see what issues pop up and what needs to happen. We have a preliminary design. We've done the preliminary or a environmental review, which identified several items that need to be addressed. Two primary issues. One, there's significant wetland impacts. There's 2 areas of wetlands along that proposed route. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the route, but just kind of adjacent to the railroad. You can kind of see those areas. They sort of look like dry lake beds. They don't look much like wetlands, but they are wetlands. So we're currently, we did a wetland delineation report and have submitted that to DSL. We did get some comments back after their review period, and we're in the process of addressing those and getting those back to them. So the next step in that is for DSL to basically approve that report and say, yes, we agree with your assessment of these wetlands.
Okay.
And we hope that happens soon. The two primary issues moving forward with the road. The first is floodplains. The area along the railroad tracks there, you're just sort of at the base of that hill, right? So it is in the floodplain. FEMA is in the process of doing new mapping, which we've seen the new mapping.
No.
It's the floodplain.
And so there's some work there that we need to do regarding impacts to the floodplain, whether we agree with that model or not. We need to do we feel like there's some tweaks that could be made to that model to maybe lessen our impacts. And essentially what we're after there is what's called a no-rise certification and a floodplain development permit that comes through the county. But the no-rise certification allows us to build the road without impacting the floodplain areas. Part of the concern there is the floodplain identifies different levels of flood impacts in those water surface elevations. So we want to make sure that our road that we're constructing isn't underwater every other year, right? So there are some issues there that could affect the design of the road elevation wise. So that's the first piece that we need to figure out. Kind of in conjunction with that are the wetland impacts. Our current design roadway corridor, a little over 3 acres of wetland impacts. So in the mitigation world, mitigation means one of 2 things. We can either go create a new wetland, which is probably the most likely scenario, or in certain cases, you could do a pay in lieu of mitigation, which can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
So kind of 2 tracks there.
Yeah, you said any 3 acres for both kind of total.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
not one.
Right, yeah. So I think it's like 3.1 is our current model.
Okay.
Again, that depending on how the floodplain issues work out, if we need to raise the road, our footprint gets wider, that would create more impact. So floodplain issues, we got to sort of figure out first before we can really nail down the wetland mitigation piece. The mitigation piece is not a 1-for-1 mitigation. So if we have 3 acres of impact, it's somewhere around 5 acres of new wetland that we need to create. So we've identified a couple potential areas that look like they might be suitable in the project area. So we need to look at those areas, one, to determine if the soils and the hydraulics will support a wetland. The concern, it's tricky because these are not like your typical wetlands with water and ducks and weeds and stuff, right? So a little bit of our concern is creating a wetland. When you do the mitigation work, you're typically subjected to like 5 years of monitoring after the fact to ensure that it works as a wetland. So we want to be careful in selecting a site and creating that. We want to feel comfortable that it's going to work. So part of that is doing some hydraulics, probably some soils testing up front to make sure those sites really are suitable. Last thing we want to do is go build a site, get your road open. 5 years down the road, after all this monitoring, all this work, it's not working. And then permitting agencies don't like that.
Yeah.
So. there's quite a bit of work there to do. I've took us a little bit longer to get this scope of work put together than we had hoped, just kind of mashing around our brains, trying to figure out a real path forward. I think we feel comfortable with our path at this point. There is quite a bit of more work to do. Yeah, and I think, the first piece, like I said, is getting the original wetland delineation piece approved by the state. And then when we start working on the floodplain issues, really identify what that is going to be, identify what our impacts are going to be, and then start working on that mitigation plan. Once we have all those pieces in place, then we have to submit a JPA, which is a joint permit application that goes to Corps of Engineers, DSL, all those great agencies that like to take 4 to 5 months to review things, every things. So
I brought this issue to Nate's Dice, who's not on, is he? Okay, I know he was in the Sherman County meeting and I thought he said he was. Yeah, but is there anything that the governor's office can do? Is that worth pursuing?
the permitting piece is the permitting
Yeah.
piece, right? You have to go through the processes.
Right,
Sometimes it doesn't hurt
Okay.
to have someone higher up say, hey, maybe you guys can make this application a priority to help
Okay.
speed things up.
all right, we're gonna pursue that, then.
that's-
We're just gonna keep talking
Yeah,
he knows generally, he wants to see the report.
sure.
He is familiar with this challenge.
Yeah.
But he also let us know regulations are regulations, but he did want to see more.
Yeah,
So can we get a report for him?
yeah, absolutely.
Preliminary report.
Yeah, we have the preliminary stuff. We have the wetland delineation report done.
Okay.
I think you guys have those. We don't have another report yet. I think we need to get into some of these
Okay.
things. So
Whatever we have right now, and
Yeah.
as it comes,
Yeah.
we will just forward and keep him in the
100%.
loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can outline those steps. So yeah, I mean, what we have today is additional scope of work
Mhm.
items
Right. Okay.
that we need to move forward.
So basically, we're doubling our fees.
Yeah, and when we met a few weeks ago, I had a number in my head that
I like that number.
I like that number better too.
Yeah.
There were a few highlighted things on that list that were still question marks. But what we like to do with these, we do all these things as time and materials because environmental stuff, you just never know where you're gonna end up, right? So we've done kind of worst case scenario here, I think. So my goal is we don't need all these tasks to the level that we have them in here. What we don't want to do is get 6 months down the road and have to keep coming back asking for more all the time,
Mhm.
right? So I think all the steps are here, and we've been a little bit conservative with our time. It's just the nature of these projects.
It's just insane to think
Yeah,
there's water, what, 9 months
I know.
of the year?
Not even
And
that
that's-
long,
Yeah.
in some years.
Yeah.
And then like up here, like they call that a wetland, you never see water there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I talked to Herb about all of this and he just laughed.
that's,
He
yeah,
said, that's a joke. It's just a floodplain down there.
How many times has Cedar Springs Road been flooded? Never.
Well, if the new road's gonna flood, the railroad, they won't be able to get the trains in. Because the railroad is lower than the new road.
There's a lot
That
of
just
issues.
dumbfounds
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
yeah, and that, the floodplain issue, Jaden is my
Yeah.
floodplain man, and we're looking at these elevations and we start looking at the big picture of the basin and it's almost like a little lake that just gets kind of stuck up there and there's a little teeny tiny outlet
Mhm.
that then pushes it back to the east. So we think there's some creative things we could do, maybe some ditching or something that in the model anyway would lower that water level to make it a little more palatable. I mean, we don't want to build this road up 10 feet up in the air,
Oh, no.
right?
Wow.
That's one, cost more money and your mitigation size is gonna go through the roof, so it's challenging for sure. More challenging than we thought going into this,
Yeah.
for sure. So,
It's like you wish they could just drive out and look at it and then.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the governor's office, he will come look at this. He will. I mean, not that, at least that's something, it's a
sure.
set of eyes on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and feel free to
Mhm.
give him my contact
Okay.
information if he wants to get home, maybe we can walk him through it. I can get my other experts.
Okay.
I'm not a wetlands or the
Okay.
floodplain expert.
All
I'm
right,
the road guy.
right, okay,
So
all
I
right,
rely on my experts.
Yes.
To walk us through these things.
And I received an email from, well, what used to be Tennyson Engineering, Waste Management is contracted with them to do the work on the old Cedar Springs Road. So they're in it.
Mhm.
They want it to hurry along also.
Right, okay,
Cause
And-
with the new track, is that?
With the new track, yeah, as soon as the new road's built, then they'll use the old road.
Oh, yeah.
we need to get this
Yeah,
going.
it's just-
And we've looked at, just so you know, we've looked at kind of pushing the roadway kind of away, going around those areas. The problem is, as soon as you get out of that wetland area, you're right up against that bluff. And so that
The toe of the slope and I talked to Herb about that. It just created it did away with all that bottom land as far as using it for pasture.
He needs it.
He wanted it for, that's the best cow grass,
Mhm.
is down in the bottom.
And yeah, just construction wise and
Yeah,
the road for heavy truck traffic, it just would not be ideal.
Even if we did go around, it's gonna be substantial.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
substantial, yeah.
and then it just leaves an island in there.
And the Oregon Trail is right there.
Yeah. Okay, so this proposal is an increase of almost $215,000. So the funding that's in the road fund, we have the funding.
Yes, we do.
Should we do this? I mean, we're recommending going forward or,
They say yes.
Yeah, my feeling is we don't have a choice.
okay,
I mean,
yeah,
it's, we've got to just keep pushing
Okay.
forward.
all right,
And I would like to,
So, and we need to point out to the governor's office that we have projects that are,
yeah.
well, yeah.
We did.
they're all friends of the green.
Yeah,
If
we
the
did.
if the Saddle View project goes and the new road's not built and they're delivering components and stuff
Mhm.
and they get held up for 45 minutes by that
Mhm.
train,
Yeah. Right,
there's no other route and
No.
there's absolutely no way they could come up Blaylock
no,
with that stuff.
it's a public safety.
Besides how
issue, too.
long they are.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
would be
mean-
the issue. They can't make the turns
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
stuff.
That's it. Any help we could get.
But if
Right,
if
It's
for
a
some
bottleneck.
reason those delivery guys find out that this is a bottleneck, they will try to go that way.
Yeah.
Cause the Kim Waste guys do all the
yes,
time.
they do.
Yeah.
You just have to block the road
Hey.
and then hope they made it around the corners.
Oh,
I mean, it's safety,
Mhm.
economic development.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
the
mhm,
list goes on.
EMS, all of
And
it.
Time
Mhm.
and money is,
Yep,
we don't have.
Yeah.
Well, we have money, but.
Yeah, and
we don't have time, we need,
we're well aware of the timelines on this, so, you know, we're
Right.
ready to make it a priority and get it going, so.
yeah. Okay, so any further discussion? So we'll put you in touch with him so that you can communicate directly, so you
Sure.
can send any reports so that he can, maybe work some magic, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
just
Mhm.
phone call from the governor's office.
Yeah.
Helps
Mhm.
move things to the top of the pile.
Right, okay, so are we proposing acting on this amendment at this time?
Would like to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know.
all right. So it would be a motion, we don't have a briefing because this came a little bit later. So it would be a motion. Go
Okay,
ahead.
let's see if I can make this. I would so move that, we approve Anderson Perry's, amendment increase of $214,905 to mitigate going forward the permitting and wetland and floodplain issue.
For the additional scope of work. I'll second
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve amendment one, number one, to the engineering related services contract with Anderson Perry and to the scope of work as well. Is there any further discussion? Motion? Or excuse me, vote?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Call the governor.
Yes.
Do we? No.
I'm ready to go to work. I just,
You could be doing it now.
I
Can't you just do some of it?
Time to be doing
oh, I
this.
could start on the other end and start building.
Can you just say
Where
you're,
it gets wet and stop,
say you're farming?
huh?
So you're.
A road to nowhere.
This is just.
Okay, we're doing what we can.
Not bad idea.
Okay,
actually.
great. Thank you for all your work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes. Okay. Item 6.5, discuss future planning services. Do we still have planning staff on the line? Do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Is Carla there? Or is Stephanie, either of you?
I
just
know I'm here. Carla had a conflict, but she was going to try to join us before conversation started. So I don't know if she's hopped on yet.
Okay.
I don't see her name.
Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and discuss this. We received planning services from the city of Boardman, and you know, there were some growing pains with that, but good service has been provided for us, and it's been about 18 months. Completely different situation than we've ever had. We always had in-house planning staff. They got us through the conditional use permit, all of that with waste management, lots of new energy projects. I think that the city of Boardman was prepared to discuss the IGA we currently have and moving forward. And then at some point, some things change with the city of Boardman and their workload. I think basically that is what it is. It's a workload issue. And so they've asked that the IGA be terminated. Effective June 30th. So I see three options. I just think we discuss which way forward we want to pursue. Is there any negotiations that we could do with the city of Boardman? I don't know. I never talked to them. I took the letter at face value. I think Anya had a few conversations. That's one idea. If there's any room to negotiate. I do know Carla McLean will be retiring. And she, you know, that's gonna create a hole, and then Stephanie will move up, and then they'll have to hire someone else. They have someone else. And I'll allow you to speak to this, Stephanie, if you would like to. You don't have to if you don't choose to.
Yeah.
Then the other option is to contract with potentially another entity, and we have had some outreach from another county. And then the other option would be to hire in-house planning staff. Keep in mind, hiring an in-house planner is going to be very difficult. With everything that's going on in this county, we're going to need a trained up person if we're going to do that. Because this is not a time for inexperience.
So we have the county reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just to back up, when Michelle's departure,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty well known that planners are
Mm-hmm.
in a shortage
Right.
in the state of Oregon. So
Did you want to say anything, Stephanie?
Sure, I'll share a little bit kind of what's happening over here at Boardman. So Carla is retiring this year, and as we all know, that's going to be a huge loss for both of us, you know, City of Boardman and Gilliam County. With her retirement, there's myself, and then we have a Planner One staffed here in our department. Our Planner One has about 1.5 years planning experience, so and it's just for the City of Boardman, not exactly the experience that we would need for Gilliam County. And as we were looking ahead, we were thinking about recruiting and looking for a principal planner, and we would need somebody that would have some level of experience that could step into this program and be able to carry it forward without a whole lot of assistance. When I came over from Morrow County, I had 10 years of planning experience with the county there. And I know even since my departure from Morrow County, they currently have a principal planner position open over there. So they've had a couple of folks step in and step out of that position. Regionally, we're seeing a problem trying to recruit experienced planners. That's really where the problem lies. You have this gap between the folks who have been doing planning for a long time and they're retiring out, and then our entry-level planners. And a lot of the entry-level planners don't have a lot of interest in staying in Eastern Oregon. So just in my experience, that's what I've seen. A lot of times we get folks that come in, they get a few years of experience, and then they head off to the next adventure, I guess. So I think that was part of the decision for the city of Boardman to say, you know, we have to recruit, and we don't have anybody. So with existing workload at the city of Boardman, and where our efforts will be focused after Carla's retirement, it's kind of what we're looking at. And Carla actually just stepped into the room. I know you can't see her, but she's
Okay.
here.
All right. Carla, this is Judge Patno. Did you want to add to any of the background on the planning termination of the agreement? We're just discussing the situation.
Yeah, no, you know, I'll just share, we started talking about evaluation of it. You know, the IGA says that, you know, we'll have this kind of conversation every year about, you know, the work and the cost and all of that good stuff. We started having that conversation internally, and it just really came down to, you know, between my retirement that's pending and kind of the workload here. And at the end of the day, this is Brandon's call. I think Stephanie and I will both be very honest and say, we'd love to figure out how to make this work, but we're also in the middle of all of this, and there's just, yeah, it's been hard to figure it out. Is it about the dollars and cents? I don't think so. Is it about workload? Really, very much so. And just our ability to figure out how to maintain the capacity here for what we're encountering. And I feel for where you guys are at. And that's why I said, you know, we'll do anything we can to kind of help in this transition of saying, okay, we're going to terminate the contract. Let's just not walk away. We're not terminating it immediately. We're terminating at the end of the fiscal year. So, you know, our hope is that over the next 5 months, we can work with you to, you know, what path do you want to pursue? Do you want to find another contractor? Do you want to try to go back and refill the position? You have a lot of options in front of you. I'm not going to tell you that they're all easy or that they're all going to come together in a day or two. They're not. They're all going to take some effort. But Stephanie and I are going to be here. We're going to continue to do the job through the end of June. If we get to that point and you don't have a resolution in place, I'm sure we can figure out something to, you know, kind of carry you through to when you have, you know, if you've got somebody online you're going to bring on, but they can't start till, you know, August 1, we'll work with you. We're not going to just drop that ball and say, figure it out. So we want to be supportive. I mean, it's been fun, I think, in a lot of respects to work with you guys and figure out how another county works. And, you know, it caused me to kind of brush off my county planning knowledge, skills, and abilities over the last 2.5 years. So I'll be quiet.
Okay, no, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, people kind of need to hear the background of why. I mean, it was a full day, and then it was like 4 o'clock, and when I read that email, I thought, oh, she's terminating it right now. I called you before I'd even read it through. Then I was okay, it's not until June 30th. So, you know, it was a shock, but it's been done before, and we can get through this. We just have to talk about a path forward. We don't have to decide today, but I think we should discuss today. We do have a planning commission member here. Maybe you two have input.
If you're paying, it's going to be difficult to find somebody. It might be with a shop
Mm-hmm.
to transplant something that I'll be really.
Right. Yeah.
I think, and I've said this all along, I think it's important that we have a planner potentially that lives in the county. They understand what's going on in the county. They will reach out if there's a contentious situation more perhaps than Stephanie has. Because she doesn't
Know who's who.
should know that it's contentious,
Mhm.
potentially.
Yeah.
And so, that's my feeling is that I think we need to do whatever we can to have somebody here. Maybe it's share a planner with Sherman County and Wheeler County.
Already tried that.
Okay, well, maybe-
Neither are interested.
Yeah, maybe
I
it's-
shouldn't say Wheeler County's not. I know,
County doesn't have the same issue.
no, we're not likened to Wheeler
Yeah, they
County.
don't have the,
Right, they don't have the same sort
the
of.
wind and the
Yes.
waste management.
You know, working with MCEDD, if they have some help or opportunities, I don't know, I just.
Well,
think-
here's another thought. Okay, so if we end up contracting with someone, whether it's another county or a planner, would a person that does the lower level, I know this is gonna be more expense,
Right,
someone here that potentially works out of the Arlington office, which that's where much of it is done, or spend some time in Condon, and as a point of contact is a admin person that is maybe training to learn some of the planning. I don't know if that's maybe an avenue we want to pursue.
yeah, meters group, and
Mhm.
he oversees it, and maybe that would be something that Sherman County might be interested in, is having a higher level land use person. I don't know, I think a lot of money goes to the consultants.
Mhm.
I don't know how much, but in the past, the consultants have always been a part of it, and
Mhm.
the attorneys. You know, perhaps that's a better, you have a higher level land use planner that oversees what's happening in multiple counties. And then has somebody on board that actually is from Gilliam County and is actively in an office in Gilliam County. You know, Stephanie, I know it was part of the agreement was they were to come to be in Gilliam County, but I don't believe that that's been able to happen much.
Mhm.
And, I don't know, it's just like the Saddle View thing where what are some of the issues? Well, that would have been a perfect opportunity to meet with the planning commission who has members from both ends of the county to say, okay, here's some other things that have to be thought about. What about waste management? What about,
Mhm.
you know, the road issues? And
Mhm.
the planning commission was never even reached out to. We didn't
Mhm.
even hear we didn't know anything about it
Mhm.
until after the fact. I heard there was a meeting in Condon.
Mhm.
I've been on the planning commission for years and knew nothing about it.
Mhm.
And that's is very frustrating, where I think if somebody lives in the community,
Mhm.
is part of the community, that they have more, more willing to reach out, know that maybe they could reach out. I'm not sure what the,
Mhm.
that's what really concerns me. It's concerned me, you know, from day one though, is that somebody from out of the area.
Yeah, in a perfect world, there'll be all these planners we could choose from.
Oh,
That's the challenge we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
So with the city of Honda, we contract with that group that did meters, now back out of retirement.
Mhm.
And it's kind of amazing how much just little work that we have to do in office. So I don't think that's a bad idea to have somebody in Gilliam County that is working on training up to be a planner, and then maybe we have a resource we can contract out to other counties as
Mhm.
they go through the same thing.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. That we become that resource and, you know, potentially.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, there's a lot of just little admin stuff that don't necessarily need a full. You
Mhm.
know, like house bill, stuff that doesn't need to go through engineering, stuff doesn't need to be through.
Yeah.
But if we had somebody that was backstop with the work experience.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, my concern is the projects that are in the near future,
Mhm.
and it's getting somebody that's already trained up, that's,
Mhm.
versus somebody just starting off,
Mhm.
experienced,
Yeah.
that's dealt with this. That's
Right.
my concern.
Mhm. Right.
Well, we can always put it out there to see what's, if anything's available.
Mhm.
And then
What?
plan B would be
Yeah.
maybe something
Mhm.
similar to what Gibb said.
Okay. Would you like me to pursue one of the people who have reached out just to see what they would propose? Just no promises, just to see what they might propose, and then we could have a couple of options going.
Yeah.
And then decide if we want to take a job description and try to advertise, and just see how we do.
Yeah, cause that's 5 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's,
it's gonna go fast.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're gonna have to have some time.
Something to consider is that if that position becomes something that the cities can contract with the county to provide bank services to, that's another source to.
Yeah.
IGA in a different direction.
Yeah, and sometimes you might have somebody who just happens to have a point in their life when they want to drop in this county, and we have a lot of development going in the north end. Maybe there's somebody that has a skill set that wants to locate there or here. Okay, so we'll just pursue this and put it on the agenda for the next meeting, and we should have more information by then.
Go forward with a couple options.
Yeah, we'll pursue a couple of options right now. Okay. That's the way we'll go. Did you have anything else, City of Boardman?
I think we just look forward to future conversations. We're willing to assist any way that we can. And in the background, I'm working on setting some things up, updating fee schedule that'll be coming in front of you. I'm going to reach out to Anya and just kind of preparing some of the administrative side of it, so that way you guys are ready for whatever next step you take.
Okay, thank you very much.
This is the beginning of many conversations, I'm sure.
Okay,
Yeah. And I think I think what I would add is deploy all your options. I mean, don't just go, well, we're just going to pick this option, because you may get to the end of that, and if it doesn't work,
right.
So, Steph and I were just kind of quietly talking here in the background. If there's an opportunity, Arlington's going to need some help. Maybe there's an opportunity for you guys to partner with Arlington and Condon, because they're going through changes in leadership. And there be a more countywide program. Baker County did the planning for Baker City for many years. That they just recently kind of divorced their programs, and not because it was bad, just because Baker City finally got to the point where there was enough growth. They felt like they needed to take the plant program on themselves. But decide to post the position. If that works out, then you've got that. Then you're there. Or I think I would encourage you to come up with your options and figure out how you can kind of investigate all of them concurrently, and then figure out what one's going to work the best. I would encourage you to deploy all your options.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're here to help with that as much as we can, and the help you want. I mean, you might decide you don't want our help.
Yeah. Okay. No, but do you have planning listservs and things like that we can advertise? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would encourage you to use your AOC membership. Certainly we can work within the AOC PD. Stephanie participates in that group on behalf of Gilliam County. But then there's the Oregon chapter of the American Planning Association. There's also a more rural organization called the Western Planner Organization. Those are all good mechanisms that I think you can use to, request what you're looking for. Whether it's posting a position or posting an RFP for planning services for Gilliam County. I mean, is another way to approach that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Is there anything else for that one? Okay. All right. More to come. All right. 7.0 announcements. Next meeting, regular meeting is February 18th in Arlington. 7.1 is Judge Commissioner comments. Go ahead.
So, Anya and I had the second meeting of the Wolf Depredation Advisory Group last night. We got our bylaws passed. We have a full committee, and we're working on the grant to get funds for prevention. So it's a good group, and we joined. John Anderson just joined, and he's going to put it out to the SWCD annual meeting about the committee is formed and put it out there to the producers. So it was good discussion and
So you cannot apply for funds unless you've had a depredation
for the
the
depredation.
depredation portion. So that's why we only have the ability to get the preventative.
Yes.
Um,
So we look through the items that they can actually use for prevention and came up with like 3 or 4 different.
Or it was bone pile, burial or removal, game cameras, range riders, and the thermal drone.
Yeah.
okay, good. Good.
So in the thermal drone and the cameras would be property of Gilliam County. So.
Okay.
So
All right.
hopefully we'll get that out. My goal is by the 18th.
Thank you for all your work on it. It's been a
Yes.
big learning curve because we knew we needed it, this committee, and it's been a lot of legwork to get it going. But once it's up, it's going great.
And it is.
And get through the grant process.
It's a
on
really
time.
good group. They asked really great questions and a lot of participation.
Good.
Yeah, Anya's done a terrific job on it.
Let's see if we can get a grant.
She's gonna be the wolf expert.
Yes, you'll be able to tell everyone else how to do it since we couldn't find many people to tell us. Okay, anything else, Commissioner Watkins?
Nope, just regular little meeting, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I reached out to Alan at Waste Management, the manager, to try to meet with him the end of this week or next week to update him on the issues with the bypass. And also try to set up a tour. Have a Commissioner Walter, I forget the last name, from Lincoln County. He's wants to come up and see a tour of the landfill. And then Rob Frank, Harney County. I'll reach out to them too to see if I can set up. They were interested in touring the landfill and seeing what's going on. But yeah.
Is there any way, sorry,
No.
but is there any way Waste Management could help us put some, trying to say it delicately, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see what Alan says. But yeah,
At least if they could submit something that says their need and, what's going on
a
and,
letter of urgency to
yeah,
try to get this. Well, yeah, because like I say, it's safety, development, economic,
That might be helpful for Nate Stice,
Okay.
just to have something from Waste Management. That's a good idea.
Okay. I'll talk to Alan about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't need to come from Jackie though, the PR person probably.
For waste. Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who from Waste,
Uh-huh.
as long as they submit some kind of a.
Yeah.
Jackie probably would.
Okay. The 28th, well, the 27th, I received a call from Cliff Bent's associate, and he was coming through and said, "Can I meet with you for a few minutes?" I said, "Sure, I can meet tomorrow." So I was able to just kind of visit with him for about, 20-30 minutes. Talked about, of course, power generation, everything, everybody's, all the bad news that's out there. That transmission line, everything that's behind, and he's the SMR there. He really thinks that those are going to be the up and coming thing.
The small nuclear
Yes,
reactors.
yes, and you can
Soon
plug them
or
in.
time, with time.
with time pretty. Well,
They have to push that back through the state though, don't they?
well, yeah, it's not legal in Oregon, but like he said, the electrons can flow into Oregon.
Oh, because we border.
And he is aware of a couple of them that are permitted at Hanford, but it's still out there a ways. But he thinks that's going to be the up and coming thing. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen with the renewables, incentives on the federal side.
Maybe we just need to shut the power down in Portland for
Yeah.
a few days.
Well, I think that would help get their attention. But anyway, and I talked to him about the wetland and how frustrating, and he's like, yeah, it's the state, and he suggested that try to do what we can to possibly get some help from Salem. But it's just insane. You know, and I don't think he realized how big the landfill was too.
Oh,
And the, you know, trucking and
oh,
like I said, the truck went by and he looked out the window because he was surprised. But I don't think he realized the rail either from Seattle. And, you know, I told him, I said, this bypass is huge because it could open up more possibilities for waste with more contracts, which more revenue and stuff
Yeah.
for us. So
Yeah.
anyway.
I sat behind a train yesterday. I don't know how long that thing was. It was on the main track, but it was long.
Well,
And they kept pulling forward, hooking up more and pulling forward and hooking up more.
I think there's an app out there because, like, I think when Martin or me go out there, I think that's when the train.
Yeah,
You knows when I'm coming. Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
Marta.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we have, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just need to try to.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when things are out of sight, out of mind, you know, nobody cares about that, but it's like.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
you're sitting behind it.
Yeah.
right.
And it'll open up potential for waste management too.
Well, yeah.
They can.
More development for them and, you know, better for us too, also. Yeah, and Korea meeting 13th.
Meet someone.
Oh, good.
What's that?
Nate Stice.
Nate Dice is on
Yeah.
online.
I'm done.
So maybe we can ask him if he has anything you can pick up after
I'm
Nate. Nate, did you have anything to say? I'll let you just go first and then I don't know how long you've been on.
Not very long.
Okay.
I just got on. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that's
God, I
okay.
had time to get back from Sherman County to my desk here. Since you had an hour on NORCOR, but it seems like
Oh, yeah.
got done with that a little
We
early.
had a little snafu on NORCOR. We didn't get to hear that. So anyway, so we had Anderson Perry, Andy Lindsay came and he explained generally the mitigation issue. We asked if he would be able to send you any preliminary reports he has. And just kind of asked if nudging through the governor's office could help this at all. But I'm gonna ask Commissioner Wilkins to see if he can just in a nutshell tell you the impact of this, so you'll understand the impact. I know I did, but it's good to hear another perspective.
Sounds great.
Yeah, Nate Grant Wilkins here. So I don't know have you received any information about or what we're trying to do out there at by the landfill, the Cedar Springs Road?
Yeah, the judge gave me a high level overview in our conversation last week, and then I have received some of the preliminary documents from Anderson Perry. I have not reviewed them in any detail, so sorry. I was hoping to catch the
understandable.
The conversation today. So
yeah, the biggest thing is getting this bypass. One, the main thing is safety, emergency services to get through, not held up. You know, but the other thing too is we have potential projects coming that this could impact. Renewable project that wants to possibly start in 12 months. And the other thing is, like I say, I'm not trying to speak for Waste Management, but they're excited about if we get the bypass road built, we would transfer the old original Cedar Springs Road to Waste Management to where they could build additional rail storage, which is going to open up their possibilities for possibly more contracts, increase to the landfill. So, you know, it's a big economic thing also, but I'm just shocked that this wetland and now floodplain is that big of issue for a project that it's not like we're trying to go through a federal wildland or wetland and wildland, you know. I don't know. I just we just got to keep trying to go forward and get this done. And anything that can help us get through this. I don't know. Of course, time is an issue for everybody.
Yeah. Commissioner Watkins, did you have anything to add to it?
And Nate, have you ever been down there to waste management?
Sure, a few times. In fact, I
Yeah,
made sure
it might
to
be-
take the boss out there when we had her in Gilliam
Yeah.
County. So
It might benefit to, get the visual on what they're really talking about out there too, because I mean, I've lived here in Gilliam County all my life and I can't remember that ever flooding.
Never.
So
Right.
it's like, it's just not gonna happen, but
Yeah.
so any way we can help get this pushed through would be.
Well, it's like a roadmaster stated, even the rail line that's there is not built for the floodplain.
Yeah.
If they're saying that
Yeah.
the floodplain's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
The whole rail yard would be flooded.
yeah.
Right. So we just wanted to bring you in the loop, introduce you to the commissioners, Commissioner Wilkins and Watkins, and just make sure that, was hoping that you could participate or hear what, Anderson Perry had to say, but that's okay because he will be contacting you. We'll just send him your way to continue to send any reports as they come up. And then, would you be able to be the point of contact with Nate?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Nate, I live in Arlington, so I'm right there.
He's the road commissioner,
Yeah.
Grant Wilkins.
yeah.
So, and
Sure. And let me, I will wait to hear from Dewey is the consultant's name. Is that right? I guess, but
yes.
I will connect with him and talk through the issue a little more. I'm just hitting print on the preliminary report that I'll review. I mean, as I understand it, like timing was your biggest concern in making sure that this moves expeditiously through the process.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I mean, I've I think I mentioned this to you, Judge, but I've sort of specialized in wetlands and floodplains over the last few years. I've been working on the North Coast as well, which has a lot of wetlands up there that are actually wet.
Yes.
So I've got, good connections into DSL.
Oh, that's great. I know you can't make any promises, but
Yeah, happy to help
thank you.
work through this one. I mean, the least that I can do in this is to make sure the project stays on track and track it through the process. I not having read sort of the preliminary report fully, like I don't know that I understand the habitat issues. Certainly the floodplain, the new FEMA biological opinion makes this a lot more of an interesting rodeo. So
yes.
But yeah, happy to get into it.
It's okay. What did they find, Commissioner Wilkins? Did they find a flower or?
Yeah, there was a
cornflower.
Yeah,
Popcorn
popcorn
flower.
flower. Yeah. I don't think that part really surprised him, but just the fact that they've identified these as really wetlands and then floodplains. I mean, that was like, I think, clear out of left field. I mean, we knew there was going to be a permit process and they were going to find some things and, and do some things, but it was like, oh my God.
You've got a comment online. Steve Schaefer, do you still want to comment?
Yeah, I will make a quick comment. Nate,
Hey, Steve.
mainly towards Nate, I guess. I think this situation would really be helpful if the director with DLCD could be there and a few of the other entities that might be involved with DSL, so on and so forth. It's really important that this get moving as quickly as possible, and getting those people there at the time that you visited would really be helpful. And that I think is something that you would be able to put together for the county court. That's the only comment that I have. Thank you. And Nate, good to hear from you.
Yeah, good to hear your voice, Steve.
You, Scott.
So this is not specific to this project, but is there any way down the road we can get some stuff reviewed? Because like, according to the Corps of Engineers, City of Condon has a salmon bearing stream behind the grade school. So there's all these weird wetlands and salmon bearing streams and stuff that have, I think they got declared, somebody just threw a circle on the map. Declared them, you know.
So the question in the back or the comment, Nate, was just in general about the floodplain, the new mapping and how it's coming out countywide and in particular in Condon.
Study these?
Yeah, how are they making the determinations? Yeah, so sidebar, I guess we can say. But is there some resource that we'd have to challenge what's there?
I think if your planner's in the room, they would probably have a lot better answer to that than I would. But I do think there is a way to challenge the new maps. I can find out the timing for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
But I think is if your planner's in the room that they might.
Okay, I think they're gone now. They left, but we can contact them. But whether they were based on any form of study or if they were just randomly identified.
Well, I mean, they were. I'm pretty certain they used LiDAR.
Oh.
To do this most recent round of mapping and in most places refine the old maps. So like I think they've used a few different methods, but I do know that some communities are deep in the weeds on validating maps. So, and most times I'm seeing that through the work done through the jurisdiction's planning department. So,
okay.
Yeah. If you don't use it all, then I'll leave the rest.
Okay. Anything else? Okay.
No, I'm really sorry for being late here. Again, I was sitting in the Sherman County Courthouse when you all joined on the Zoom there, and I asked, we can blame Judge Joe. I was like, hey, Judge Joe, how long is this thing supposed to take? And he said it's a full hour. So I'm like, oh, well, then I'll just get in my car and drive home and make it in time. So sorry.
Yeah, somehow wires got crossed and we thought they were joining us and they thought, the other way around. So anyway, Commissioner Wilkins, did you have anything further on your report? Okay. I'm just going to conclude with what has been going on since our last meeting. We have an EV charging. We had a site visit at the site for the EV charging, which is in Condon behind the library. That project is moving along. We have a good project manager now with ODOT. It's changed several times. It looks like by May we should have a plan, the actual plans so that we can move forward to planning with. That's as I understand it. So we're just basically in a holding pattern of waiting till they complete that. There will be one pedestal with 2 level 3 chargers and 2 level 2 chargers. So it has to be a 4 connection project. And there will be a match on that as well that we'll need to provide. The Condon High School government class came to the courthouse the day after our last county court meeting on the 22nd, and they learned about jury service and local government service, and that was really good. And they want to pursue potentially doing a mock jury trial. So we'll work on that one in our spare time. But they had a lot of very good questions, and I'd like to do the same thing in Arlington. I've been in contact with Justin Lowe at AOC regarding House Bill 2089, regarding the foreclosed property process. As you can see from the resolution, we're moving forward with that. Eastern Oregon caucus calls are happening at 7 o'clock every Tuesday morning through the special legislative session, and that keeps us abreast of what's going on with all of the changes in the next 30 some days. We had a staff meeting, which is a very good staff meeting in the courthouse, and talked about the new website, talked about the handbook, all kinds of things that the staff can participate in. Worked on the notice of intent with Saddle Butte. We had our housing meeting, which is a great meeting. Now we take what we learned and see if we can move forward somehow. So at the next county court meeting, I want to have on the agenda whether or not the county court wants to pursue the study and how we go about that. The city of Boardman definitely will help us. We see great feedback from all the entities. We had Housing and Community Service present. You were both there, and it was a really good meeting. It's how do you take all the ideas and funnel them into action? So, yeah. Participate in Eastern Oregon Counties Association call as well. Working on the audit, trying to get that going forward, and the issues that we're dealing with. That's been a big portion of the month to get it moving forward. So we're just not spinning and not moving forward. So we do have
They're
a plan.
coming this month. Still,
It depends on if they can get the issue solved quickly with some sort of an entry so that we can move forward. So that's what we're waiting for. They are taking a look at it. We had a Zoom call last Thursday, Brooklyn and I did with them, and they needed the issue to be isolated so they know where to focus their energy. I think one of the issues was they didn't know where it was.
I think Brooklyn might have a comment.
So, okay, go ahead, Brooklyn.
I think Leah was asking if they will be in office in February.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not happening.
Okay. Okay. Because of even if on the 17th, by the 17th, they have an answer, it's not happening.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we are just going to reschedule that.
okay.
But originally we thought they weren't coming. Originally we thought, well, let me just back up. We had to isolate the problem before we could even ask them how to move forward. Now the problem's been isolated. It's in the tax accounts. We know the amount of money. We're asking them if they can easily solve it. And once that's identified, Brooklyn, do you think we're prepared to move forward? Once that's identified, they need an imbalance.
I believe so. And we've been emailing this morning, so they're actively looking at it right now.
Oh, they are. Good. Good.
So they're in that. I think that just with it being tax season,
Mm-hmm.
that even if they were to solve it by the 17th, they're not going to be here immediately. But yes, we're still working through our cash allocation issues within the general fund because that's our largest fund. All the other funds have been established. The issue with the cash allocations being out of balance is specific to the tax accounts. So that's what they're focusing on right now, is resolving that $1,043,032.
And so 870,000 of it is a potential refund credit, right?
That is what we believe.
Okay. All right. Of the million. So most of it we believe is identified. So.
And that's because of the appeals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let's see, February. The short session began on Monday. We've had a call because we have a subpoena for some previously foreclosed properties that we had to respond to. Been working on that with the attorney. That's moving forward. And that's all I have. Is there anything else? Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. This meeting's adjourned.